ready, reach out to me. But we're going to discuss the MyCredit system. I even encouraged a couple of them to get on the call tonight, and I haven't seen them. So, hey, it's their loss.
That's
But
right.
the MyCredit system is something amazing. It's game changing. It's no other. I have to let my econ associates know it's no other system out here, hands down, that's better than the MyCredit system. We do have the best credit repair system. Again, we're not just teaching people how to just repair their credit, but in this system, you're going to learn how to build great credit. You're going to get educated so that you'll never have bad credit again. The great thing about the MyCredit system is you can take your time with it. I tell them you're doing it by yourself, but you're doing it yourself, but you're not doing it by yourself because training is like this. You can get on the call with the training full of experts that can pour into you. So even though you're doing it yourself, you're not by yourself. You'll always have an accountability partner when you are a part of the My Econ family while you're learning to work on your credit. So that's the great thing. And with this, we start off with the welcome. Again, the MyCredit system covers everything from A to Z when it comes to credit. The system generates the letters for you. This is amazing because you don't have to try to figure out what am I supposed to say to the creditors? How do I know when to mail the letters off? Where do I start? Everything you need is covered in the MyCredit system. How to get your credit reports. We take you directly to the source. The best place to get your credit reports is the annualcreditreport.com. That's going to give you all three of your credit reports from the credit reporting agencies for free. Another thing that you can do, I encourage people to actually download these three individual apps. You can download Equifax for free, Experian for free, and TransUnion for free. You will actually have access to your credit reports and your credit score for free.
Also,
So that's that you can do, or you can go to one place if you're working from your computer, get it at the annualcreditreport.com. You want to go there, you can get it
are you
every
showing
week.
slides, Tiniki? Are you showing slides?
Yeah, can y'all not see that?
No, we see your beautiful face. That's all we see, honey. You talking.
Okay, that's all y'all see. Okay, let me see. Hold on, let me make sure I'm sharing. Okay, there we go. So the My Credit system, like I say, in order to get your credit reports, you're going to go to the annualcreditreport.com. Again, I encourage people to always download these individual apps on your phone. Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Each individual credit reporting agency or credit bureau, it will give you your credit scores and your credit reports. You can log into each individual app, see what your score is, and see what's going on with your credit report. But if you're doing the work from your computer, then you want to go to the annualcreditreport.com. And this place, you can come here once a week, see what's going on with your credit. It'll give you alerts, it'll give you updates. But these are the main credit reporting agencies, okay? So that's what the My Credit system gives you access to, pulling your credit report for free. So you do not have to pay for your credit report. But if you say, hey, I do want to pay for my credit report because I want to see what else probably could be going on as far as outside of the three reporting agencies. And when I say that, that's because the myfico.com, it does cost, but it gives you your FICO scores. Now, you'll get your actual FICO scores from the individual credit reporting agencies. But when you go to other places, some people like to use Credit Karma. I'm not big on Credit Karma, but you can go there just to get a tad bit of what's going on your credit report. But if you want to know the FICO scores, then you can actually go here to myfico.com. That gives you one place. But it not only gives you your regular credit reports, it also lets you look at your mortgage scores, your insurance scores. It gives you your FICO scores for other credit reporting agencies. That's the secondary reporting agencies. So the MyFICO system is a good place for you to go to as well if you want to get your FICO scores. But you can get your FICO scores right here from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian as well. So keep that in mind, okay? Different questions that might be asked, or you might ask, or someone might ask you when working on your credit. We cover those here in the frequently asked questions. Will it hurt me to pull my credit score? How often can I request my credit score or credit report? It's different questions that people might ask you if they know that you offer the MyCredit system, or different questions that you might have for yourself. Okay. We also teach you how to read your credit report. So this is very important because a lot of people will read their credit reports and just assume that it is 100% accurate, and it's not. A lot of times there are inaccuracies on our credit reports, and that's what gives us the power to dispute those items, repair our credit. And a lot of times, when you dispute those inaccuracies, when they fall off, your credit score shoots up. So it's very important on how understanding how to read your credit report, because there could be a lot of errors on your credit report. And the main error that we encourage people to start off with is your identity error. When you first look at your credit report, if there is an identity error when it comes to your name, your address, anything like that concerning your identity, then you want to get that correct. I teach this class a lot of times to people who are in business development classes. And I let them know when it comes to your identity, when you're trying to get business funding, you don't want a lot of multiple names on your credit report. You don't want multiple addresses on your credit report, because it looks like you're having multiple identities. And it's like, what are you applying for different things using different addresses for? So it looks kind of shady when you're trying to get some real serious business funding. So you just want to have a clean credit report, okay? So that's the first thing that we start off with, cleaning up our identity. And we actually have a letter for that, and I'll get to the letters in a minute. But those are the things that you want to pay attention to. Second thing you want to pay attention to is the date that you actually opened up the account. Where did you open up the account? Is that correct? The amount that they actually started your credit limit off, is if that is correct. The payment history. They often will say that you were 60 days late when you were only probably 30 days late. So all of those things are inaccurately reporting on your credit report. Removing those are major. And you can see a significant increase on your credit score once you get those corrected things, those items corrected on your credit report. Collections, inquiries, all of that. So this helps you to understand reading your credit reports. You can click here, understanding your Experian credit report, your TransUnion credit report user guide. I love that we have these additional resources in here. And again, frequently asked questions. What if I see an account that I don't recognize? And here's the answer to it. So these are different frequently asked questions that you may have had asked to you, or you may have asked yourself when trying to work on your credit. Okay. The second thing we like to do is teach people how to freeze the secondary reporting agencies. It's actually over 20 plus secondary reporting agencies, but it's only 3 that we really like to deal with. And that's because these are the main 3 that will have an effect on your credit. So the first one is LexisNexis. LexisNexis is the largest secondary reporting agency. I really foresee in the future that it might become the 4th largest credit reporting agency itself, because if you've ever applied for anything, your stuff was either reported on LexisNexis, or they pulled your LexisNexis credit report to also check that credit, that score. So we encourage people to pull your LexisNexis report, see what's up there, but also put a secondary security freeze on LexisNexis. And you just go right here and request a security freeze. We do it online. It takes a few minutes. This process takes a few minutes. You can do this in a matter of seconds, okay? So once you do this part, answer some security questions, they're going to ask you to upload 2 important documents that you're going to need throughout the credit repair process. So while you're working on your credit, the most important things that you're going to need is a copy of your ID, which is a up-to-date copy with your current address on it, and a copy of your social security card. You can use a passport, but you need, I would say, your social security card. And the third thing is a utility bill. It could be a most recent utility bill, or it can be a bank statement. I've had customers use bank statements when they live with someone and they didn't have the utilities come in their name. We just blacked out their, account number and stuff that their credit reporting agency didn't need to see, because all they need this for is proof of your address. It could be your W-2. It could be your most recent lease or bank statement, but as long as it shows your current address, that's very important. And they are doing this to protect your identity. That's one reason why they're doing this. During COVID, so many people's information was stolen. It was, and identity theft went to a all-time high. We sell identity theft in my econ, so that's something very important that everybody on this call should have. But again, they're doing that for to protect your identity. This takes less than 5 seconds. So when you're working on your credit, when you first start working on it, I tell people take a picture of your ID, your social security card, and that third verifiable piece of mail, and upload those to your computer. You want to have those on your desktop at all times. You can go right here to your file explorer, create you a little folder. Mine says Tiniki's Credit, that has all three of those documents in there. So if I ever need to use them to dispute anything on my credit, I go right to my file folder. Whenever I get results back from the credit reporting agencies as part of me disputing credit, I scan it in, save it under the file folder. So you want to create you a file folder on your computer while you're working on those documents, okay? But those are the three important pieces of verifying your identity. Those are what you're going to need every time you do something concerning your credit. So getting your security freeze in place, you're going to need those three. Whenever you mail a letter to the credit reporting agencies, you're going to need those three pieces of documents. So that's very important. But as far as doing the secondary freeze, it's so easy. You can go right to the links, request a security freeze. Innovis takes a matter of a few seconds. Innovis is one that does not require you to upload any documents. They just ask you a series of security questions, and then you hit the submit the request. So this is the first thing that you can do as soon as you sign up for my econ. You can actually pull your credit reports, save them to your computer. And I skipped that part. I'll go back there for a minute. But this is one that takes a matter of seconds. And you can actually request these. What they're going to do is send you a letter in the mail, and they're going to let you know, hey, your security freeze is in place. I tell people save that letter, because if the letter is going to include a PIN. If you ever need to remove this secondary security freeze, you're going to need that PIN. The question I often have asked of me is, do I need to remove that freeze? You never have to remove this freeze from your credit reports, okay? Again, you're not freezing the three. You need to keep in mind, we're not freezing the main credit reporting agencies. We're freezing the secondary reporting agencies. So we're not freezing Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. Do you want to freeze those? If you have good credit, absolutely. I tell anyone, if you have a 700 or above, you want to have a freeze to protect your main credit reporting agencies, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. But we're talking about freezing the secondary reporting agencies. You do not need to never remove these freezes, okay? I've had my freezes in place for over 14 years, and I've applied for cards and everything. When they pull your credit, they're not looking at secondary reporting agencies. The purpose of us doing this freeze is just like a strategy of when you're working on your credit. It just gives an extra layer that the credit reporting agencies, when you're sending out those dispute letters, it's just an extra layer that they have to go through. And sometimes it's just a strategy, really. It's just a strategy that we use, okay? Teletrack is the next one that you're going to freeze. And then you no longer have to freeze ARS. So it's just three. It takes a matter of minutes, and they will send you a letter within 7 business days saying that your freeze is in place and with your security question, okay? With your security PIN. So just keep those PINs in a safe place. What happens if you ever lose your PIN? You can just easily call them. They are consumer friendly. I've called them several times for clients. They are consumer friendly. They'll restore they'll give you your PIN over the phone after asking you a security identification questions, but they are consumer friendly, okay? And again, we encourage you to pull the credit reports from these guys to see what's on them. You never know. I know with LexisNexis, you actually want to make sure that your information is correct with them as well, okay? But when you do pull your credit reports for the main credit reporting agency, you want to save this to your computer, okay? That's very important because you don't want to print it out. These can be almost 7 to 8, sometimes 32 pages, depending on what's on your credit. So I tell people download those and save them to your credit file that you create on your computer, okay? So you have pulled your credit report, you did your secondary freeze, you read your credit report and understand what's going on. Now you want to start filing your disputes. Okay. So this is the part where you're going to start filing your dispute letters. And this just explains to you what happens when you do the disputes, different things, the dispute process, what if the account is mine, but the wrong information. Again, anything that is inaccurate on your credit report, according to the Fair Credit Act, it has to be removed. So the Fair Credit Act, which is the FCRA, it states anything that is inaccurate. So we're not trying to prove if the debt is ours or not. If they are reporting it inaccurately, that's outdated, unverifiable, it has to be removed. So again, in these classes that I teach, I say if it does not fit or they can't prove it, they must remove it. That is my slogan. If they can't prove it, they must remove it. We're not trying to make them say how you owe the debt. They just need to prove that the debt belongs to you. And if they can't prove it, they have to remove it. Okay? So the dispute letters right here. Here's where our letter generator is amazing. This shows you what's the results and the timelines with the letters, so you'll know how many days you need to look for a response from the credit reporting agencies. But this is the dispute letter generator. Right here, you're going to enter in all your information, and then you're going to choose the letters that you want to send off. So we offer a variety of letters. The first letter should always be your identification letter. This letter is where you're going to clean up your identity. Again, you want to make sure that everything is correct on your credit reports. You don't want to have a lot of addresses on your credit report. And a lot of times the old addresses is what can tie you back to the debt. Keep that in mind. That's very important. That's why you want to remove those old addresses. When you try to dispute something, that the credit reporting agency will say, well, hey, this is how we can prove that you owe the debt, because the address is on your credit report and we see here on the lender's profile. So you want to make sure that you remove those old addresses. This is a letter that you have two options here with this process. You either can mail this letter in. When you mail the letters in, the credit reporting agencies does have a certain amount of time that they're given by law to respond to your request for them to do their investigation. This letter is one where they can have up to 30 days to prove, to look and do their investigation. If you want to speed the process up, you can actually call the credit reporting bureaus. You can call Equifax, you can call Experian or TransUnion and dispute online or dispute, over the phone with them, hey, this information is not correct on my credit report. And they're going to ask you, depending on the age that you receive, I tell people when you get on the phone, always ask for a English speaking agent, unless you can speak another language. And you just want to make sure that they understand you clearly. When you get them on the phone, they might ask you to go through each individual address. So you want to have your credit report pulled up in front of you, because they're going to try to compare. And sometimes they will use verbiage to try to trick you to see if you're actually going to admit over the phone. You can't say, oh, I used to live there. Oh, I know what that address is. That's my mama address. None of that. You just want to stick to, sir, ma'am, That is not my current address. That's not my current address. Can you please remove it? Because they will try to trick you into saying certain verbiage so that they don't have to remove it off your credit report. Again, they make money with us having bad credit or having discrepancies on our credit report. So you want to be very mindful of when you talk to them. Don't let them get you in a game of, word game where you actually admit that you used to use that address. You just want to keep telling them, sir, ma'am, that is not my address. Here's the correct address. Can you please remove it off my credit report? Um, Again, you can do this over the phone. You can this is the only time that I tell people, or I suggest that you can dispute this online. You can actually do this part online where you can clean up your identity. You can go to their individual sites. The credit reporting agencies are forever changing things. Like now, even when you call them, they take you through a series of robotic questions, and they really try to have you talking to robots or AI the whole time if you don't answer the questions correctly. So they try to avoid getting you to an actual real person on the phone. You just got to you got to be persistent and do your due diligence to not let them just push you off, because it can become frustrating. But we don't have no quitting us in my econ. We have the best credit repair processing system, so we don't quit. Okay, so they're going to ask you a series of questions. You just got to make sure that you stick to, sir, ma'am, remove this off my credit report. It does not belong up there. Same thing with your birthday. Make sure everything is correct when it comes to your identity. You don't want multiple names up there. And you want to make sure that the name that you have on your credit report matches the ID that's on the when you go ready to mail your letters in. That's important as well. Okay. If you decide to send a letter, I just always tell people this letter does not have to be notarized, but if you want to be notarized, that's fine. You can take it to your bank and get it done for free. You always want to save the letter to your dispute tracker, because this is where you're going to be able to prove if you ever need to do a litigation with the credit reporting agencies or anything. You want to save this to your back office. So you want to save this, and then our dispute tracker will let you put in the dates that you mailed the letter off and the date that you received the response and what was the response from the credit reporting agencies. So again, you actually can mail this letter off. Some people like to mail letters because they want to cover their behind. But this is a part that you can get a speedy process on this and actually call them. I was blessed a few times to talk to an agent that after we disputed everything on my client's credit, we asked if they could actually mail us, because you always want them to mail you an updated credit report showing that it's been correct. The agent actually emailed it to us. She told us that we would see the change within 48 hours, and she emailed us a copy of the credit report. So I tell people, you draw more bees with honey, so you don't want to be nasty and rude when you call them. You want to be patient, and the more patient, kind you talk to them, the better they're willing to work with you. And like I said, I've had agents who actually emailed us the results within 48 hours, and they updated the person's information. So that's the first letter that you want to send off. The second letter is going to be your actual dispute letter, where we're going to start actually, I call this round one, where you're actually going to start fighting to clean up your credit. So this is round one, and you're going to send a letter to each credit reporting agency. Based on what's on your credit report, pay very close attention to the creditor's name and the account number. Never give the credit reporting agencies what they don't have. So if your credit report just says ABC Lending, and let's say the account number is 12378 XXX, that's exactly what you're going to put on this letter. Never go and look and say, oh, I know who ABC Lending is. I got a letter from them. Let me get the account number. Or, oh, that's a Cox bill. Or that's a hospital bill. Let me put the actual never give them the account number. Exactly what's on your credit report is what you want to put here. If it's 9X's, you want to put 9X's. Okay. Also pay attention that each individual credit reporting agency, they might be reporting the same account. spelled a different way, under a different lender name and a different account number. So that lender might report to all three, or the creditor, I'm sorry, the creditor might report to all three, but TransUnion might actually have ABC Lending LLC, and they might have just the 12478 and no X's. It's very important for your letters to match exactly what the letter that you're sending in. Pay attention to that. Also, you can add 6 more creditors. You never want to dispute more than 12 accounts at a time on a letter. With this particular letter, you absolutely want to get it notarized. Again, you can go to your bank and get it done for free, or you can pay the notary fee, which is sometimes $5 to $7. And you want to save this letter to your dispute tracker because it's going to actually show you this. You can go in and let's look at the dispute tracker. It would give you the date the letter was created, their responses, and successful responses. Okay, so the dispute tracker is amazing. Okay. So this letter, again, that's the first letter that you're gonna, second letter that you're gonna mail off when it comes, but round one, your first letter of actually fighting. And let's preview and look at the letter real quick. If you notice with our letters, when you print them out, certain spots is gonna have the bold fonts. We're doing that for a reason because when we send our letters to the credit reporting agencies, it's not landing in the hands of a real person. The only way your letter will land in the hands of a real person if the letter stands out to the system, which is called the e-Oscar system. Everybody letters go through this e-Oscar system. And if the system feels like it is a robotic, repetitive letter, it will push that letter to the side. But if they feel like it comes from a real person may have sent this in, then it's going to land in the hands of an actual real agent to read and see your letter. And the way that happens is because this bold font makes our letter stand out, and you're going to sign the letter at the bottom. Do not type your name in here. You actually want to use a ink pen, blue or black. You can use red if you want to, because sometimes I've heard different colors make your letter pop out even more. I know people who actually type their letters up with different red numbers, like certain words will have be in red. But you want to sign your letter with your signature, and then you want to print it out. Okay, print your name out and put the date on it. That ink is going to show them, hey, this is not a robotic letter. This was actually sent in by a real person, and it's going to land in the hands of a real person. Okay, so that's very important. And then when you send the letter off, the MyCredit system has you covered on that area as well, because we actually have a tutorial video in here to show you how to send your letters off. I love this. We give you the addresses. You do not have to go anywhere. So when you're working on your credit, please do not go to Google or YouTube. Everything you need is in one place. If you go to Google, it will pull up different addresses. It's different departments that's at the credit reporting agencies. You want your letter to actually go to the dispute department. So here's the addresses right here. Okay, that's very important. When you send in your letter, you want to make sure that your letter is signed and notarized. You want to send in a copy of your ID. We tell people, line up your ID, your social security card, and whatever verifiable mail that you're going to use. Make sure it's not marketing mail. It's not mail that's mailed in. Well, I don't want these people to know my personal information. They don't care if you're behind on your light bill. They don't care how much you owe the gas people. They need to see that it's an actual reliable company that the mail is coming from to you. So that, like I said, if you stay with someone and you don't get utilities in your name, use your check stub, just black out what they don't need to see. You can use your bank statement, just black out your account number. I like to use people card registrations. Why? Because there's no it might be a year expiration date on it. Because those billing statements also need to be as at least 30 days current as possible. Okay. But I tell people line all of them up and scan them on one sheet, or take a picture of all of them together and print it out that way. That way you don't have to send in a whole bunch of papers. But you do want to make sure that you track the mail meaning send it certified mail. And we actually have a video. This video shows you what to do when you walk through the post office door. So this is amazing. I love that. And it shows you what to do when you're walking through the post office door. But you want to send it certified mail with a return receipt. That's the green card. And the reason why you're doing that is because I've had the credit reporting agencies tell me when I called to verify that they didn't receive, to verify that they received the letter, because what they did was they didn't remove a client's addresses when we sent in the address, their identity letter. And the first thing the rep told me was they never received the letter. And I said, ma'am, I know you received the letter because we sent the certified mail and I have a return receipt for the mail. And she came back and was like, oh, we found it, ma'am. I know you had the letter the whole time. So you just want to cover all your, cover everything so that, because again, I think it's a cat and mouse game. If they feel like they can weigh you down to where they feel like, oh, it's too much, you feel like, I keep sending these letters in and I don't never hurry anything. I'm sick of this. I'm not getting no results. No, you have the best system. You have the best step-by-step process. You have the best coaching. So you do not want them to weigh you down when you know you have followed the steps. And if you can show proof that you followed the steps, the CFVP, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Hopefully they're still open because somebody was trying to close them down, this current administration. But they will, if you can send them proof that you sent in your letters, you send them that certified mail receipt, they will, I've seen it, they will take that stuff off of your credit when they see that the credit reporting agencies are not following the proper guidelines, okay? So it's just important for you to follow these steps and be do your due diligence and make sure that you get the results that you want, okay? Don't get quiet. Don't never get tired. Okay, so avoid filing online. This tells you why you should never file online. And I'm gonna speed up because I know we got a second presentation. This tells you why you should never file online. Never file online because you could be waiving away your rights. When you file online, you're checking the box, and sometimes it's small reading, the little words that you can't really read, but you could be waving away critical legal rights if you file a dispute online. Also, when you dispute online, because I've had my son do it, he went right into Credit Karma and he disputed everything and called me excited as if he did something great. And I said, your mama work on credit. Why would you listen to your girlfriend? But him and his girlfriend sat there and disputed everything online. And I told him, I said, right now it's going because they have to honor you're saying that it does not belong to you. In 30 days, it's going to reappear. And that's exactly what happened. Once Credit Karma submitted the dispute, everything disappeared, but it reappeared once the credit reporting agencies did their part. And he didn't have letters or anything to back up his claim. So you never want to file or you never want to dispute online, okay? Again, the only thing that you can dispute online is your identity, but you never want to dispute collections, judgments, or anything like that online or late payments. We have letters, you guys, that covers everything that you can think of. I actually just helped a client, we sit in her letter to remove a late payment. Late payments can hurt your score by up to 100 points. And she wasn't late. She was $1 short. Some of these credit card companies are getting crucial. She was $1 short of her payment. She's never been late, but because she was $1 short, they put a missing 30-day late payment on her credit and dropped her score by 75 points, and she was crushed. And then they tried to tell her that they don't remove it, that they wasn't open to removing it for her. So we're working right now to help her remove that because, again, she followed everything that I told her to do and was able to get her score to 800, and that really upset her when that happened. So again, these are your letters. Understanding your results. We teach you how to understand your results. What happens when you get a letter back from the credit reporting agency. So it's different things in here. Learning how to understand your credit. Credit utilization. This is major because you can't pay anyone to do this for you. I'm very upfront and honest when people try to call me to, Miss Riddick, can I pay you to do the work? You can, but the one thing that I can't guarantee you, for one, I can't guarantee you no type of credit score increase. By law, I'm not supposed to tell you I can guarantee you that you're going to see a 800 because I can't. But the part that I can't do for you is the credit utilization. I can give you nuggets on what to do, but that's you using your credit cards properly, or different things that you can do to build your credit. So that's something that you can't pay someone for. We actually teach you how to build your credit. Trade lines. I have a business partner that's been with me from day one in my econ. He was one of my first clients and he still rocks with me. He specialized in business credit and the trade lines. And we show and we tag team with classes. We go around teaching classes to different business organizations. And we show people how these trade lines is major. Someone having you on as a authorized user, or you actually using your good credit and making it another stream of income selling trade lines. So we teach you the power of having good credit that can be another cash flow stream for you, building your credit and a plan of new action, credit boosting strategies, again, authorized user. If you pay rent, reporting your rent and paying reporting your paid rent one time can boost your credit score through rental karma. And we give you different places and how you can boost your credit score with that. Understanding debt consolidation. This is a call that I had. I had two ladies call me with similar situations. I felt like I was in deja vu. One was in Georgia, another was here in Virginia, but same situations, and they were considering debt consolidations. And again, I'm not against it, but you need to just make sure the company that you're dealing with, you're going to actually see some results. I've had some clients who debt consolidation really messed them up. The company just gave them some bad advice. So understanding debt consolidation, if you're considering it, we show you how balance transfers. I love June, the creator of this system, June Collier, our marketing director. He does an amazing call on his calls, and teaching us about balance transfers. I was so excited to see him put this in here. Understanding transferring your balance. You can go back and read that. Again, credit boosting strategies and different things that you can use. And again, the MyCredit system creates an additional stream of cash flow for you because we now sell it as a standalone product. So when people reach out to you, even though they might need the whole system, everybody that I talk to, when they call me for credit, it all goes back to them needing the whole My Econ system because they need to know how to increase their credit score, their cash flow, running their business properly, tracking their business expenses. That's game changer right there. But it all goes back to them needing everything. Some people just say, Ms. Riddick, can I just focus on my credit? You absolutely can for $29.95 a month. So this gives us an opportunity to offer this to people as a standalone product and still generate us some additional cash flow. And that is the end of my training. I'm gonna